Take care.
Now let's get a response from the Republican side. Joining us is Donald Trump's campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway. And Kellyanne, good morning. You heard Tim Kaine pivoting from the email questions to talking about Donald Trump, his relationship with Putin, and his relationship with the press. Your reaction?
Well, it's very disappointing to see Senator Kaine take that tack because you're asking him very honest questions that the American people want answered. 17,448 emails were not turned over to the Inspector General. That's in addition to the 33,000 emails that had been deleted. And Martha, as you very correctly pointed out, if you see the C as the classification of national security information, folks know what that means. And certainly a former United States Senator, former First Lady, and certainly the sitting Secretary of State should know what the C means. I think that the polling data that you showed earlier really tells the tale here. Hillary Clinton is having a hard time being accepted as a truthful and honest candidate vis-a-vis the American people. And I thought that Senator Kaine trying to pivot away to Donald Trump is really become my favorite parlor game these days. I watch Secretary Clinton, Senator Kaine, and others who defend them. When you ask them a question about them, it takes them about 10 words to get to Donald Trump's name. That's not how you answer a question. They want this election to be about Donald Trump, and the American people want this election to be about honesty and trustworthiness and her being more accessible and forthcoming in her responses. I thought the FBI revelations on Friday were nothing short of astonishing.
In that train of thought, let's go to Donald Trump, because that's who you're here to talk about. And I want to tie up some loose ends after Mr. Trump's speech on immigration. He said that the priority will be criminals and those who've overstayed their visas. That still amounts to between 5 and 6.5 million people that he says will be quickly removed. The cost estimate for that is between $51 and $67 billion. How will he manage such a massive operation, and who will pay for it?
He'll manage it the way it should have been managed all along, by enforcing the law and relying upon those law enforcement officers and those ICE officers to do their job. They've been completely hamstrung in their ability to do their job. He also has said that he will triple the number of ICE agents to try to help. And if you look at everything that he said in that 10-point immigration plan, Martha, it goes beyond that. It also talks about the E-Verify program. It talks about stopping this jobs and benefits magnet. It also talks about securing the southern border, building that wall, and having Mexico pay for it. But at least you have a presidential candidate putting forth a 10-point plan and having it covered by the media. I thought it was astonishing to hear Senator Kaine tell you that the Trump campaign is banning the media when they haven't had a press conference in 274 days. And Americans know that the media cover all of our events. It's how Americans see the events. They turn on the TV every day and they see Donald Trump taking his case directly to the voters, including this 10-point immigration plan.
Back to immigration. He said there will be no amnesty. All immigrants here illegally will be subject to deportation. So will they be subject to deportation and removal, or will they have to go?
If they're criminals, they're going immediately, and we don't know what that number is. We hear anything from 1 to 2 million. And then, of course, he has also said, this being the most generous country to immigrants in the world, that if you want to come to America and immigrate here legally,
and if they're
you should
not
do that.
Criminals, that has been very clear. He's talked about the criminals, but if they aren't criminals, do they have to go?
He has said that you should stand in line and immigrate legally, and also he has said that once we do things that have never been done.
So you mean they have to go?
What I'm saying is he has said that, and he said the other night, and everybody can read the 10-point plan if they like. At least we have one out there. The other side doesn't.
But that really doesn't clear it up, Kellyanne.
Well,
do the
it does
people
in
here
this
who
way,
aren't
Martha.
Criminals have to
Sure.
go?
Correct. But he also said that once you enforce the law, once you get rid of the criminals, once you triple the number of ICE agents, once you secure the southern border, once you turn off the jobs and benefit magnet, then we'll see where we are. And we don't know where we'll be. We don't know who will be left. We don't know where they live, who they are. That's the whole point here, that we've actually never tried this. He will rescind all those executive amnesties and try to work with the Congress. And so at least he's trying to solve a problem, and he has said he wants to work with law enforcement and immigration officials to actually see what we have left after everything else is done.
Okay, Kellyanne, one more thing to clear up quickly. Mr. Trump said that in his meeting with Mexico's president, they did not discuss payment for the wall. Mexico's president, Peña Nieto, says he told Trump Mexico will not pay for the wall. Is President Peña Nieto lying?
Well, they disagree on that conversation, but I think Mr. Trump clarified very clearly when he got to Arizona later in that day that he will build that wall. And he has been consistent on that since day one of his candidacy, and he will have Mexico pay for it. So his position has never changed on this side of the border or on that side of the border. And, you know, Martha, all told, that was a very productive conversation. We were very happy to accept the gracious invitation of the Mexican president to have Mr. Trump there to talk about not just illegal immigration, which of course is a vexing issue for both sides, but also drugs across the border, human trafficking, and the sovereignty of each nation that is protected once you have a border in place. A prosperous and safe Mexico benefits us. A prosperous and safe United States benefits Mexico. We look forward to continuing that conversation with the Mexican president, and we were very happy that Mr. Trump showed the type of leadership that a would-be president shows by accepting that invitation and showing up.
Kellyanne, let's move to your ground game and the path to 2016. You said Pennsylvania is part of your campaign's path to the White House. You're still down there by an average of 7 points, and in my recent visit there, lots of people were turned off by Trump's aggressive, angry tone. Can you win this race without Pennsylvania?
We can, but we're taking Pennsylvania very seriously. We know the last 6 presidential elections it's gone Democratic, and that's something that we understand. But we also know that Mr. Trump's message from the beginning has been particularly resonant among a lot of the workers who feel like they've been left behind in this economy.
Can you win without Pennsylvania?
Yes, we can. Absolutely. We have several different paths to victory. And Martha, I would point out the growing number of stories just this week about the Clinton campaign, how she's being told, just prepare for a landslide, wait, run out the clock, don't go talk to the voters. She's doing this whiplash-like tour between Hollywood, the Hamptons, Martha Vineyard, raising money and ignoring the voters, thinking, hey, I've got this one. I can win through many different paths through the electoral map, and we're taking every state seriously. We're just making investments just this week with absentee ballot outreach, with ads in about 10, 11, 12 states. Pennsylvania is one of them.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us
this morning,
Kellyanne. Coming up,